feel like what's coming to me today for so many people, it's the Father's heart that says, all is well, it is okay. All is well, it is okay. If you feel like it's not okay, that's okay. It is okay to not feel okay. It seems to be okay for you to feel everything that you were feeling right now. And I think the way in which the Father wants to show you, like He has showed me, a new place in us to be received, is whenever these emotions and these things come out of us, or we're like, this can't be okay. He wants to meet you with love in that place and say, no, this is actually okay. I receive you in this place that doesn't feel okay. I don't know where we got this from, but it seems to be a lie from the enemy that we're supposed to walk stoically with God, and the evidence of our faith and our trust in God is we're not moved by things, right? We're not feeling stressed out. We're not, feeling scared or doubtful or these sorts of things. But with the understanding that God is giving me, He's like, there will be a time where you will be like Jesus, who is sleeping in the boat. But it will be after you have walked through many storms. Enough storms for me to produce what I need to produce. I will instill in you the peace that surpasses understanding. There is a timing to it. So if you find yourself stressed out, if you find yourself anxious and worried and all of these things, it's most likely an accusation that's saying you're lacking because you feel this. You don't have enough faith in God, which can be extra strenuous whenever walking with God can feel so exhausting. It can feel so repetitive in its way, so crushing in the spirit. But all is well. It is okay. And you, at the right time, will know that all was well and it was okay. And if you don't believe that right now, it just means you're not meant to believe it. Because you will get to your destination on time. Like I will get to the destination on time. Walking with God is giving up aiming at anything, surrendering your life to Him, and you find that after an amount of time goes by, you are in a new place with a new understanding of yourself, the knowledge that He had me this whole time. But in the interim, and I think in parts of processes that actually produce an unwavering stance, right? Someone who's able to actually sleep in the boat, you actually have to have a lot of restless nights in the boat. A lot of restless nights in the boat just speak to where you are in your understanding. And He's like, if you just continue to come to me with your honest heart, that's it. We are going places because I know where I am taking you. And I give you this space because it's not just about getting from A to B. I want to show you that I intimately receive you and all the parts of you. It's easier to feel accepted and received in parts of us that we accept and receive about ourselves, or what the world has deemed acceptable and lovely, right, and deserving. But don't you need a God? Don't I need a God? Don't I need a Father? Don't I need to know of a Father who receives me in my weakest, most delicate parts? Yeah. And this is where it will be the driest in you. That His love seems to be this determination, this relentless pursuit to convince you. He's like, look, there's no time limit here. I know what I'm doing with you. I know where we are going and I know how we're going to get there. I'm not going to run out of patience with you. I know how to work with you. I'm not worried about you. So you can let yourself off of the hook. And if you don't know how to let yourself off of the hook, that's where you are. It seems to all be well and okay. And I only know this because I'm coming to know it by not first knowing it before. I've had a lot of restless nights. I've had a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress. I've had a lot of weight put on me. And there's something that I believe God is showing me in terms of Jesus. He's like, I put on human form so I know what it is to feel the stresses of being a human being, to have a limited capacity, but to actually endure is to go beyond your capacity. By the Spirit of God, you are able to endure past your human capacity. This is where you will find the grace of God, it seems, beyond your human capacity. And this will liberate you from yourself. Because for the longest time, we're taught to look to ourselves, and then we're taught to behave in a certain way. And that behavior is reflective to what we understand about ourselves. And I want to say yes, and I want to say no. I want to say no in this way that I think that it's been distorted. That actually stress and anxiety and all of these things that seem to be put on you is not evidence that you're not believing. It's not evidence that you're not trusting. It's not evidence of your lack of faith. But to me, it seems to be evidence that that is actually there. Because if you were able to find self-confidence, I don't think that you would feel stressed or anxious. But anxiety and stress and doubt and fear and all these sorts of things seem to be attracted to one who's no longer relying on himself. And this seems to be the preparation of God, something you will experience on your walk with him. And for the longest time, for no fault of your own, you will believe that you are not doing it right and that you need to do better. But I believe at the right time, after enough of that, he will produce a confident rest in you that gives you this understanding that you were never lacking, this understanding that you were always right to him, that the way in which you responded reflected what you were going through and the severity of it. You will receive the compassion of God, the understanding of the Father, love in this place that you and I desperately needed. A place where you can be weak, a place where you can let yourself go. All is well, even when it doesn't feel like it is. And I'm not here to convince you, but maybe the Holy Spirit through me is comforting you right now with this, because I seem to know something I didn't know before. And I went to God and said, I just feel like I'm lacking. I feel like I'm doing it wrong. I feel like I'm going to miss out. And he's like, this is okay with me, because you don't need to know what I'm knowing. I will see for the both of us. And then you will see that my sight concerning you, my faithfulness over your life was enough. My grace was sufficient in your weakness. Where you could not see, I could see. And this is where I built trust with you. And one day I will show you why you had to go through what you went through. But when you're going through it, you're just in it. And who can expect more of a human being than to just be in something? You were limited. You were in that. And we're like, something needs to be added here. Something needs to be added here. I'm supposed to behave differently. And it's like, that's just the restlessness that's coming up. But it is okay. And you will find that that restlessness will be replaced with a confident rest. As you're like, he accepted me in all of my weakest and most delicate parts.